Okay, good luck. We are live now.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and participants from around the world. Welcome to our webinar on early childhood care and education towards 2030. My name is Sarjana Rivika from Indonesia, and I'm honored to serve as your moderator for this insightful discussion today. We know that in the journey of life, there is no doubt that early childhood is a crucial phase that lays the foundation for a child's future development and well-being. So it's during these formative years that young minds are shaped, skills are honed, and the seeds of lifelong learning are sown. So as we look ahead to the year 2030 vision, it's imperative that we come together to explore innovative approaches, best practices, and discuss the way forward in providing quality care and education for our youngest learners. So today we have a privilege of hosting esteemed experts, practitioners, and advocates from diverse backgrounds who are committed to making a difference in the lives of young children. So together we will delve into a critical topic such as how to be an understanding parents, how to understand childhood behavior and education, and many more. So once again, I extend my warmest welcome to each one of you. Let us embark on this journey towards 2030 with open minds, compassionate heart, and unwavering commitment to early childhood care and education. So now please let me play the introduction video for this Education Revolution Summit. Is it visible?
Yeah. Cannot hear the sound. No volume there. No volume.
Actually, when we share the video, so there is an option share sound. So please click on the button share sound. Then you have to click on share. So the sound will come. Please try to share it again. Just stop sharing. Yes, just stop sharing.
Maybe.
Yes.
Pardon?
Now where is the video? Okay. Just click the video and there will be an option share sound. So click on that checkbox share sound. Then click on the share button. Okay. So the sound will come.
Share sound in which part?
Where you are sharing the window?
This one.
Yes. Okay. So here is your position. See, actually, this is where you saved your video.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, 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 yes. So just open that video on the another window, okay? And just click on the share a screen button, right? Yeah,
Yes.
on
I
the
think
Zoom.
it's visible, right?
It's visible, but sound only will come when you click on the share sound button.
I couldn't find
you-
the share screen and share sound, but oh, share sound. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes,
Thank you so
yes,
much, Supriya. So I'm going to repeat it again.
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Short video.
Perfect, perfect.
Okay, thank you so much to everyone for waiting. And thank you so much, Dr. Supriya, for letting me know how to sound better in this. Okay, so I hope all of you like the video. And before we start, I'm going to introduce our amazing organizer. Yes, the one and only International Internship University. So International Internship University, or IIU, is a leading virtual education system and a global brand confederation, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well-reputed in delivering innovative programs. So globally, it's a trusted name for a quality training program, and it's committed to providing better and virtual education to all the young learners of the globe. IIU is metamorphosing the conventional education system by cutting down educational costs and providing access to more than 1,000 courses and internships to e-learners across the globe with the help of its 1,000 plus global educators. So in the short span of time, IIU has spread its wing in 195 countries and 6 continents under the strong leadership of its visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandey. Wow, I think what a great platform, right? So it's always a pleasure and honor to be part of you, especially with all of you today. And now I'm inviting our project director to give an opening speech. Please welcome Professor Dr. KMI Astermal from Malaysia. She is a soft skill trainer, international Toastmaster, educationist, Macadam Golden Award winner 2022, parenting coach, child and youth development coach. Welcome, my dear Stella.
Thank you, Ambassador Herdiana. Thank you so much. Welcome, dear all. Dear global audience, ladies and gentlemen, the founder of IIU, Mr. Piyush Pandey, COO of IIU, Dr. Snigdha, distinguished guest speakers, respected observers, esteemed educators, and future leaders of early childhood education. education. Welcome. Welcome to the Early Childhood Education Revolution. I'm greatly honored to stand before you today as the project director of this remarkable education summit. On behalf of our organizing team and the founder, I extend my warmest greetings and gratitude to each one of you for joining here. Your presence has definitely added more joy and positive vibes to this event. This summit represents a collective commitment to the crucial cause of early childhood education, a cause that holds immense significance for the future of our children and our society as a whole. As we gather here, we recognize the immense impact that quality early education has on child's development, setting the stage for their lifelong learning journey. Today, we embark on a journey of exploration, collaboration, and inspiration. The summit serves as a platform for passionate educators, researchers, policymakers, and stakeholders to come together to exchange ideas and share their best practices. Our goal is to foster a nurturing environment where young minds can thrive, unlocking their potential and building a solid foundation for their future success. Throughout the next few hours, we will engage in insightful discussion, sharing of ideas, and thought-provoking presentations. We will delve in a wide range of topics, including innovative teaching methodologies, the power of play-based learning, the importance of inclusive education, and the impact of technology in early childhood classrooms. Our aim is to ignite your creativity, challenge your perspective, and equip you with the tools and knowledge needed to make a lasting impact on the lives of our youngest learners. We are fortunate to have an exceptional lineup of honorable guest speakers and observers who are experts in their respective fields. They will share their expertise, research findings, and personal experiences, offering valuable insights that will shape our collective understanding of early childhood education. However, this summit is not just about listening and learning. It is about fostering collaboration and igniting action. Each one of you play a crucial role in the advancement of early childhood education as educator. I encourage you to actively participate in this summit, raising constructive comments, share your experiences, and forge new connections. Together, we can drive change, advocate for policies that gives utmost importance to early childhood education, and work towards achieving SDG 4, quality education, creating a brighter future for the next generation. Before I conclude, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our founder, IIU board members, and dedicated ambassador, Hardiana Devi Nufika, who have worked tirelessly to make this event a reality together with me. Without her unwavering support and the team's support, this summit wouldn't have been possible. Once again, I extend my warmest welcome to all of you, dear honorable guests and speakers and dignitaries. Let us seize the opportunity to ignite our passion, deepen our understanding, and strengthen our commitment to early childhood education. Together, we can make a lasting impact that will shape the lives of our children and generation to come. Thank you. Let's enjoy the Early Childhood Education Summit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maidi, for your wonderful opening speech. And now let me share a video to get to know our line of speakers in today's session, because yeah, like our project director already mentioned, we have amazing lineup in today's session. Okay, so well, we have amazing lineup for speakers, right? And I'm sure our participants are ready to learn from them. But before we start, we'd like to announce our rules in today's session. So please mute your microphone unless it's your turn to speak, because yeah, we need to ensure that we have a clear and distraction-free environment. So please keep your microphone muted, because this will help minimize the background noise and ensure that everyone can hear the speakers clearly. The second, we encourage all speakers and observers in Zoom to keep their cameras turned on throughout the webinar. So this will help to create a sense of community and support for the speakers. And however, we understand that there might be a situation where you might need to turn off their cameras temporarily, but most of the time, try to turn on your camera. And as we expect to foster a healthy and respectful environment for professional growth, I think, yeah, we need to remind the participants in the Facebook chat that to engage in respectful and professional behavior throughout the webinar. So please be mindful of your comments and questions and avoid any language of our behavior that may be offensive, discriminatory, or disruptive. So let's create an inclusive, supportive atmosphere for everyone to learn and grow. And the next is the most important thing. Each speaker has a maximum of 10 minutes for their speech or presentation. So to answer a smooth flow of the webinar and give every speaker an equal opportunity, I will have a timer on my screen. I will show it soon. So please keep an eye on the timer to ensure that you conclude your speech or presentation within the allocated time. And yeah, like Professor as I already mentioned before, that in today's session, we have something special as observers will be present. So observers will observing each speaker's speech or presentation, and the observer will have 30 seconds to a minute to assess and take notes. So your presence aims to provide valuable feedback and contribute to the learning experiment. And the last one, please kindly fill up the Google form for all the speakers and also participants in the live Facebook chat. So now I'm going to show the timer. And once again, welcome to all speakers and participants. Okay, I will set 20 minutes because I do believe that all of you are having a great knowledge. Okay, can you see in my screen? There is a timer, right? It's running for 20 minutes, but this time I will give 10 minutes for each speaker and also 1 minute for the observers. So while speaking, please kindly note it to the screen so we can have equal time for all of you, okay? Okay, yeah, I hope the rules are clear enough for all of you. And yeah, without any further ado, let's welcome our first speaker. We are having an amazing lady with us. She is Professor Dr. Supriya Kumaravelan from India. She is an international speaker, Toastmaster, NLP coach, communication expert, leadership coach, soft skill trainer, global motivation or keynote speaker, house and master coach, Business Power Academy Netherlands. And she is also an international advisor and host of Macedonia Association Doza Streja Macedonia. So wow, we are so excited to learn from you. Please welcome Professor Dr. Supriya Kumaravelan and enlighten us with your knowledge and experience. Welcome, Professor.
Thank you. A very good evening, everyone. And thank you, Hardiana, for giving me this great chance. And of course, Dr. Professor Esther, for giving me and rendering me a great global opportunity. So let me share my screen first. I hope everybody can see.
Yes, it's visible, ma'am.
All right. So this is all about early childhood care and education towards 2030. And my topic, how to motivate and enlighten preschool children. Wow. Before taking a deep dive in my journey, once again, from India, I respect all the dignitaries and eminent personalities who are with me, who are live with me, who are watching. And of course, IIU, Mr. Piyush Pandit, Dr. Esther, Hardiana, and Dr. Inga. Thank you so much for giving me this loveliest opportunity. Now, We all are here to talk about children mentality, early childhood education. I remember once upon a time, we all read one beautiful poem. But today, that poem has got a changed meaning. And it says, Johnny, Johnny, yes, Papa. Are you happy? No, Papa. Are you motivated? No, Papa. What to do? Don't know, Papa. That's the scenario of today's mentality of a small child. And we talk about motivation according to Albert Einstein. It's not that I am so smart, it's that I stay with problems longer. Is it? Big question to the audience, is it? And I say, a motivated child, when we are talking about a motivated child, we list out so many tasks that are changing. We talk about so many things. Begin tasks, we give a lot of points, advices, how to have a positive attitudes, whatever it is written on the screen. Generally. But practically, what we are doing, that is this scenario. We all are busy moms, we all are busy parents, and we all are busy with laptops today. Whether you are working from home or you're outside, when your child comes near to you and asks something, to give time, to talk, or to something, we generally say, please go away. It's don't disturb me. And it happens with every parent. Nobody don't want to do with the heart, but it happens. We all are part of human life. And today, this is the most important topic, how to motivate and enlighten our small children, which are the gift of God. So let's take a deep dive in my journey and let's talk about the practical knowledge which we have to emphasize in this journey. Well, when we are motivating a child, we are not doing only for the sake of parents, teachers, mentors, or coach. When we are doing this great thing, we are making our country a great one, our society a great one. And of course, future of the children doesn't lie only with the parents or with the teachers, but it is the sole responsible of every citizen who talks to a child, who comes in contact with the child. So when a child is not motivated, we have seen so many points, so many things, how a child is motivated and how does it look. But when a child is not motivated, we will get a lot of things in a negative sense. And this negativity, which you can say starts, there is a saying, charity begins at home. But what about when the negativity begins at home? So we have to take care. I won't read all these things. It's just for the look. But when you take care of nitty-gritty things, a child who is not motivated likely to have all these points. So we need to take care where the gaps are. And finding the correct gaps in a minute, we can seal those gaps. Now, without getting any delay, because there are so many eminent personalities who are just eager to listen, and I'm also eager to listen to them. My first and foremost thing which I can say to all the global audience is always set a proper expectation with your child. Have an empathy. And think a child from a 5 years of age, not with our age. We generally do a lot of expectations and we see all these expectations from our age, which is absolutely absurd. So you have to set appropriate expectations with a child innocence, with child's age, and what does he or she wants. And the most important thing which we are lacking today is communication. As I said earlier, when your child comes to you with problem or she wants to play, we generally says we are busy or we get irritated. That's a practical thing where we are doing a big blunder. No matter how much you are busy, no matter how much you're successful or not successful, but your prime importance is to look after the tiny creature who is coming to you, and you are solely responsible. Moving ahead, communicate with your child, be like a friend, not like a mom, not like a dad, not like a teacher. Give that empathiness, give that folder so that she should feel very warm connection with you, and he or she should not feel shy to hide anything with you. That's the property of your communication. That's the magic of your communication. When we are talking about a child with his or her interest, what you want to become? Have you eaten today? What happens in school? How many friends bullied you, or how many friends has motivated you? This bonding which you are creating, that is called the emotional bonding, will never ever go in vain. And trust me, folks, when you have created this great bonding, no matter whatever happens, if you have given a correct raising, a correct motivation, how much your child is down, automatically he will get the sensations, the upbringings of our parents, and he will himself get up. So, next one, help your child set goals, and these goals should not be so much far. Little goals, going goals, and easily acceptable goals. Try to make your child write the goals down, and this should be practiced from initial childhood, because habits, once good form, remain with you with life forever. So you have to take care of their goals, their sets, and these goals will make them alive and a proper format and are motivated to. Moving on, smart goals. As we all know, goals doesn't matter. Your smartness matters a lot. So we all know about the SMART goals. I need not to teach or train anything apart from this. Yes, some people, some child, I don't want to go to school and they want to cry. So take care of the things that they never think school a lonely place or, a very scary place. You have to make a school a lovable place so that your child should say, yes, mom, we want to go to school. We want to go and we want to flourish over there. So it's your prime duty to maintain that relationship with your teacher, with your school, and of course, a beautiful environment that liberates positivity. Your learning style that says visual, auditory, physical, verbal, logical, social. So you have to take care of your child's learning style. And if you know what kind of a learning style he or she is having, you can automatically work and it will be very easy for you to handle. He's a visual learner, he's an auditory, he's a kinesthetic, he's a solitary. And it will be very, very easy to motivate your child in such a great manner. Now there is a cube Rubik's rostrum comes. If your child touches that, he will learn fast. Why? He's a tactile learner. If your child sees a YouTube video, he learns faster. He's a visual learner. If he listens, something, auditory learner. And it's a teacher responsibility and a parent's responsibility to go through all these learning styles and make its journey easier. Help your child be resilient. Empathizing with your child is the first thing. Always think your child's problems as your situation. And think a child from his age, 5 years, means 5 years. Don't compare 30 years or 35 years. Then there will be a long gap which cannot be fulfilled. And of course, I will say only one thing. We all had been the same age. Let's not change the same Johnny, yes, Papa, into a sad one. Rather than we can say, Johnny, yes, Papa, eating sugar, no, Papa, telling the lies, no, Papa, open the mouth. Let's laugh. Ha, ha, ha. Thank you so much.
Amazing. What an extraordinary, brilliant sharing, Dr. Supriya Kumaravelan. It's amazing as usual. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to call upon our Honorable Observer, Professor Dr. Richa Ranjan, to say a few words about Dr. Supriya Kumaravelan's speech. You have 30 seconds to 1 minute. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Estera. I've heard each and every word, and she has told about fostering and collaboration, united actions. And it was told about you together we can make lasting impacts to make better life for children. And shaping the future of learning is the main thing nowadays. And we are busy moms and busy parents, but the students, the kids, they want much from us, but we are not totally prepared for it. I think 24/7, we should think about our kids, our students, so that the emotional bonding which we want to create should be fruitful, not in the vain. School should be made lovable places due to positive impacts. What I think is, so I think you have given very few seconds to speak. This topic is very interesting, and the platform is very enthusiastic, with such enthusiastic people, and this Education Revolution Summit is going to be successful. Thanks a lot, Dr. Estera.
Thank you so much. Back to you, Ambassador Diana.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Supriya. It was really amazing. Even my daughter likes it. Okay, now we're going to the next speaker we are having with us right now, Professor Dr. Raymond H. Banzola. He is Education Program Consultant for Technical and Vocational Study, TVET Trainer and Competency Assessor, Director of Raymond Banzola Business Consultancy Service, Event Coordinator of Great Ideas Event Management Service. He's coming from Philippines. Mabuhay. Welcome to the stage, Professor Raymond. Please unmute yourself, sir.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible right now.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach Ambassador Herdiana. And good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to express my sincerest gratitude and appreciation to IIU, to its founder, Dr. Fius Pandit, and to Professor Dr. Esther Ramala, the project director of this program, for inviting me here in our highly significant education conference about early childhood care and education. I'm sorry I couldn't do my slide presentation. My laptop broke, and my computer. I am at the computer shop now, and I'm having it checked up. So my topic is all about the teaching method challenges in the early childhood care and education. So according to UNESCO, the period from the birth to 8 years old is one of the remarkable brain development for children and represent a crucial window of opportunity for education. And UNESCO believes early childhood care and education that is truly inclusive is much more than just preparation for primary school. It can be the foundation for emotional well-being and learning throughout life, and one of the best investments a country can make as it promotes holistic development, gender equality, and social cohesion. Early childhood education is a period when children start to learn basic skills, social and emotional skills, develop their interests, and form a relationship between their parents, peers, and teachers. It is their foundation and groundwork for their future development. So, why is early childhood care and education so important? So, which cover the years, as mentioned earlier, it is from birth to 8. It is crucial because it takes advantage of the period when the children brains are developing rapidly, and when provided with high quality care and can assist them in reaching their full potential. It can lay out the groundwork for long-term economic productivity, successful learning and academic achievement, social emotional learning, and good health and nutrition. And in spite of the evidence supporting these social, human, and economic development gains, education policy and funding are frequently given low priority, and where they may excluded marginalized group. Yes, okay. Here in the Philippines, the compulsory starting age of education ranges from 6 to 12 years old. And we have a Philippine Republic Act of 8980, the Early Childhood Care and Development Act. Is it promulgating a comprehensive policy and a national system for early childhood care and development? And uh, early education and social services program that provides for the basic holistic needs of the young children from birth to age 6 to promote their optimum growth and development. The aim here is to protect the children and provide assistance for their needs, including proper care and nutrition, special protection from all forms of neglect, abuse, and exploitation. So there are requirements for providing high quality education. As a result, teacher must adhere to these standards. So particularly when they play a part in implementing the teaching process. However, as more responsibility is placed on the shoulders of the early childhood educators, the knowledge in this process is more difficult and burdensome. And despite what is planned and described in the early childhood curriculum, it seems that teacher practices and activities in the classroom are not being carried out. And there are some of the struggles encountered in the teaching and learning process when it comes to early childhood educations. And these are first, the diverse learning style. So every child learns differently. Some prefer looking at photos, other like to listen, and some like to move around. That's why it is important for early childhood educators to understand different learning and teaching styles to benefit all of their students. That's why it can be challenging for teachers to accommodate all learning styles simultaneously and ensure that each student is engaged and learning effectively. The second one is the classroom management. It's not always easy keeping a day on track when working with kids who are just figuring out the basics of how to socialize and adjust to a classroom setting. So, what can early childhood education teachers do to help keep things running smoothly? Implementing certain teaching methods such as group work, for example, or project-based learning can pose challenges in terms of classroom management. Maintaining discipline and keeping a student on task can be demanding, especially when they are working independently or in a small group. The learning-centered classrooms are ideal because they allow students to practice communication skills that will help them grow more independent and less reliant on you. And in a spacious, bright room with plenty of room for them and us teachers to move around. It has 6 to 8 well-behaved students seated around one large long table, and however, are not flawless. And of course, let's concentrate on the classroom we have and figure out how to make it truly learner-centered rather than daydreaming about the kind of classroom we'd love to have. And yeah, here are some of the difficulties you might encounter in the classroom and solutions to them. So number one is seating arrangement. You enter your classroom at the first day of the school to find 3 to 4 lengthy rows or desks. Although this type of seating arrangement is common in classrooms, it is not the best for the early school learning classes. This early learning, school learning process exercise emphasize communication between student pairs and groups. Move the desk into a circle or semicircle if it is possible. Alternately, arrange them in a rows of 3 to 4 desks and make sure the pairs or groups of students working together are facing each other. And another one is time constraint. You may have plenty of great suggestions for entertaining activities, but you must make sure you have enough time to execute them. Do your students have an hour and a half with you or 40 minutes, for example? Start a game you know you won't have time to finish. First, think about the amount of time you have for each class and think about the objective or what you want your student to accomplish by end of the lesson. Plan out the tasks that will enable them to accomplish. And another one is the personality clashes. So these early childhood school learning students can have very different personalities and come in a variety of sizes and shape. So the eager viewer who raises his or her hands and tries to respond each question in the same. Then there is a reserved person who, for example, who sits in the back and remains silent unless directly questions. So what transpires, however, if you divide your class into smaller groups or pairs, the talkative beavers will dominate the conversation with their enthusiasm, viewpoints, and ideas, while the reserved one will merely watch. So organize the eager beavers into a single group and let them compete to take control of the conversation. Give shy students the chance to work with different partners and assign special roles. So the eager beavers, they can be helpers or facilitators with each group. Then teach them expressions. Like, for example, that's interesting. Why do you think that? And encourage them to get answer from their classmates instead of always providing them themselves. So another one is class size. Each student has less opportunity to contribute individually as the class size increases. And therefore, if you enjoy holding drilling session, be aware that each students might only get to respond once, if at all, for someone who needs to improve their English communication skills. That isn't a lot of talking time. You exponentially increase each student's talking time by breaking the class up into groups. And
Professor Raymond,
sorry.
conclude your speech.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, to address these challenges, collaboration among teachers, ongoing professionals development, and a supportive school environment that encourages innovation can play vital roles. And additionally, flexibility and adapting teaching methods utilizing the available resources creatively and considering individual students' needs can help overcome these challenges and enhance the learning experience for the students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Raymond. Wonderful sharing about early childhood, a very important topic as well. Now, I would like to call upon Madam Shyama Marikar from Oman to say a few words about Professor Raymond's speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Professor Mr. For giving me the opportunity to see very talented people. And thank you very much, Dr. Raymond, for that wonderful speech. Actually, as a teacher, as a trainer, I also encounter many issues. One of that, which he said, teaching methods was his topic, but he included the challenges that teachers can face while teaching primary students classroom, right? So he was emphasizing on diverse learning style of children. So teachers has to cope up with that. We should know the different styles. First, we should acknowledge the different individuals' individuality, and then we have to be able to approach them and go through their, we say what, step into their shoes and try to learn them, right, teach them. And the next one, he said the seating arrangement I like is the most. He said, children, most important thing is that communication is the important part in the early childhood. So make them sit and sit in a different arrangement, like a round table, or that is like we're giving them opportunity for them to speak or communicate more rather than reasoning and high orderical things to give for them, because they are young, right? So they should socialize first. So those points are very important, I feel. And one more thing he said about classroom personality clashes. Yeah, I was actually, it happens even in the higher classes, also higher grades even, but still at the younger age, early childhood age, I also feel that is very important for a teacher or educator to look into that, because they are small children, as Dr. Supriya mentioned before. Their mentality is very soft, so we have to deal with them like without we have to take into account everything, each and every child, how they behave and who she is more friendly with, so we can separate the groups and make shy children to encourage them to speak, other children to supervise, right? So these are the very, very I feel like practical, at the same time very clever, very what you can say, insightful thoughts that Dr. Raymond shared with us today. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much, Madam Shyama. Back to you, Ambassador Hadiana. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Raymond, for your wonderful speech. Now we're going to call the third speaker. We are having, since the beginning, Madam Kokila Zivosh from Canada. She is an author, educator, math coach, learning success coach, and founder at Success Code, and she is coming from Canada. Welcome, Ma'am. We are so excited with your valuable knowledge. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much for having me today, and then just pleasure to meet all of you. And it is early morning in Canada, so I'm excited to share this. So I wanted to talk to everyone today, and especially the parents who are listening, about reading, because we can all agree that with the fast-moving world, parenting has shifted, and most of the time parents are giving, I'm not sure about Asian countries, but in Canada and US, we give our kids the iPad or the phone instead of the books that we used to read when we were young. So I really want to go back to that fundamental of, really sharing the gift of reading with our children, especially in the early age, because if we don't do that, we can all agree that we're seeing really shift in the behavior of children, where they are so fast paced, they can't slow down. So I want to share the ultimate superpower of every child is them learning to read. And there are some benefits that I want to share with all of you. And the first benefit is that it actually helps the child to relax. More importantly, more than anything, it actually slows them down, and it actually makes them to slow down and sit down with the book and be patient with it, because we can all agree that currently in the world, people are losing their patience. There's not much patience in anyone, even adults. We want everything to go faster, right? So that's why one of the reading benefit is relaxes them. So don't give your child, when they're so young, the iPad or phone. I'm not sure how it is in the Asian countries, but in Canada, as I said, in the US, if you go to a supermarket, you can see a child sitting with their phone and the, buggy, right? The cart, shopping cart. That's a great opportunity to have a book or even talk about what is being happening in the present moment, but they're absorbing something on a screen. So always I'm noticing with my students and the teachers that I train, we have this conversation all the time, is how to avoid the screen time in an early child, because they are so absorbing. They're like sponges, they absorb everything. Why are we giving the screen and preventing them from absorbing those, right? So give them a book to read and make sure that it's age appropriate. Sometimes it's important to not to make the reading become boring in the beginning of the early stages for the child. So make sure you find books that are engaging and also read with them. This is a very important skill that as parents we need to sometimes reteach ourselves. Sometimes we give a book and we leave the child alone. But no, that's the important time to sit with them and ask them questions and relax with them and become part of the family tradition, create a culture. This is the time that we read books. Let's all read a book, together, or you just read it separately, but the whole family reads it. Therefore, you're creating a culture for a child from an early childhood. They can carry that into their future. The second thing I want to talk about is how reading helps children plan and organize. Like if they have a book that they need to read, they don't have to read the whole book in one sitting. You can teach them, let's read 1 or 2 pages today and let's talk about this. So you're teaching them to plan slowly how to finish a bigger book. So now that's that's a skill they can transfer into later into their life, because they don't need to do everything in one sitting. They don't need to cram everything. If you notice, a lot of teenagers, when they grow up, they want to do everything last minute. They want to cram it and they want to study all in the last hour or 2 hours before their test or preparation to something. We need to teach them from early on how to set planning. How do we divide something? How do we make them into chunks, chunk them out, and do them into something that we can do over time? So reading is a great way to introduce that. So start with few pages, read 1 page today, read 2 pages tomorrow. Let's take a break and read the 3rd page on the 4th day. So now you're putting together a schedule for them. And you can even put a schedule and put it up on a fridge or somewhere where your child can see a checklist. I read today 1 page, I read the next day another page. So giving them something to track their success. Again, another skill we need to implement early in their life. We don't need to wait when they're older, because it's too late, because they don't know how to do these things. So organization and planning, you can teach that through reading. The third one I want to talk about is critical thinking. Now, when we're reading a book, there's always different characters going through different emotions, different problems. The children can, by reading, and definitely at the earlier age, don't just give the book and leave it with your child. Talk about it. Like, what did you learn today from this page or from these pages? Because they are small. I'm only talking about pages, not the whole book, right? So have a conversation. We forget these days as parents to slow ourselves down. And then we ask ourselves, how come my child's not reading? Well, we haven't slowed down ourselves to read with them or introduce the concept of reading early enough and taking the screens away from them. And I don't want to, the biggest thing I want to emphasize with whoever parents are listening right now is don't trade screens for books. Books are so important and they have so many things that it can teach your child, especially critical thinking. Talk about what's in the book. set a culture for your family where you are also reading, and be a role model for your children. And it starts early. And these early days are very, very important to our children. So another one I can share is reading also create independence. Like whenever you give a child, as I said, plan with them, give them few pages to read and walk away from them so you don't have to sit with them all the time. Give them some independent time to read and then come back to you. And then you can increase those as they grow. You can increase the number of pages or number of minutes they need to sit and read, and make it fun. Don't make it as a punishment. That's another thing I notice with a lot of parents is that, when they don't behave, they say, okay, now it's time for you to read, and they take the phone or the screen away from them. Now they associate reading with a punishment. Don't ever make reading a punishment. Reading is a reward. Reading should be excitement for them, not something they should feel like, okay, now I get to go read this book because I got punished, right? So don't ever associate that as well. So those are some of the things that I wanted to share with parents and educators who are here today, because I think with the fast moving world and because we're so busy and fast, everyone is ignoring this most important fundamental to every child's success is reading. Reading is absolutely necessary for everything they're going to learn currently and into the future. So that's all I have for today, but I didn't make a presentation. But remember to sit down with your kids and read, and it'll bring a world of difference. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Madam Kohila. Amazing, phenomenal, and insightful sharing by a math expert. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Piyush to give few words, feedback on her speech. Dr. Piyush?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Estera. Very beautifully described, ma'am. And she focused on reading books. As I mentioned in our chat box, reading books is highly beneficial and strongly encouraged in childhood education. And it plays a vital role. She beautifully described. I'm on the way. So, very nice presentation, ma'am. Congratulations to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Piyush. Back to you, Ambassador Hardiana.
Okay, thank you so much, my dear Estera. Okay, now we're going to have our next speaker. We are having Professor Dr. Ambassador Mehran Mia from South Africa. She's global educationist, transformational mental wellness advocate, and life coach. I really appreciate that Professor Mehran is here with us right now, even though right now she's not feeling well. So welcome, Professor Mehran Mia. Please enlighten us with your knowledge.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Diana. It's lovely to see you, and it's lovely to see you, my sister Esther, as well. I'm hoping that you're able to hear me well enough at the moment. I must also say thank you to everyone who's reached out with prayers and well wishes. We continue the fight, and I'm glad to be back. I've missed everyone, and I'm grateful to God, of course, that I am here again. So thank you again for hosting the summit, and an amazing topic indeed, something that I think is very important and every one of us is very passionate about as well. I will ask in advance for apologies with the voice if it goes off on and on. But one of my topics that I chose for today was mindset of the early child and mindset of the early educator. So as much as we're talking today, importantly about early childhood care, and especially towards working to 2030, I think it's very, very important for us to know the mindset of that child key. As the speaker before me said, something very important, that is about reading. We tend to be replacing a book nowadays with a screen. Every classroom in certain schools has suddenly got a smart TV as opposed to a chalkboard. Kids are normally texting, teachers are not texting their children. And I know we can't, we can't move away from the fact that there is artificial intelligence. We can't move away from the fact that there is this new scope of how to teach. But the one thing that we need to appreciate and know is the importance of learning through a book, of learning through the pen and the paper, of learning and growing your mind. And I think the earliest that we can start with the children is in this early childhood stage. And the biggest form of developing them in education is to teach them how to live for life early. Why wait for our children to have to endure the pains of the world? Why wait for a child to become an adult to learn that these are the woes of life, and now to start to learn how to cope and what to do and how to deal? We can start to implement such changes in the early childhood educare. So go into these children's schools, go into their minds and learn to help them how to develop their mind. What can we do to alter just not the syllabus, but to alter how they think? How does this child in early childhood care approach life? For coming from the education sphere, there's one thing I know. Every child that's sitting before us, whether it's in a classroom or whether it's in a lecture hall at university level, every single one of them is coming from a specific background. And that background is dictating their mindset. That background is dictating how they're coping with what you are trying to teach. The background that they're coming from is either one of issues with poverty, issues with hunger, issues with family constraints, whatever that is. But the point is, the child is sitting before you, reaching out for some form of education. At the same time, I'd like to reiterate that every educator that is teaching in a classroom, whether it be in a school or in a lecture hall, university, every educator is also coming from a specific background that is either hurtful, they're going through life's challenges, the educator themselves is going through that. And the only thing we have that can help for all the children and the educators to cope through what we have to get through, and that is educate ourselves. The only thing we have is this education. So when we're trying to go into the early childhood care, and as we're trying to approach with IU and with every educator out there, approach and achieve these goals for 2030, let us go and look into the mindset. Let's try and alter a little bit of our syllabus. We focus so much on the paperwork. We focus so much on making sure the syllabus is getting done, that the report cards go out in time, that we forget there's a human factor behind that teacher. There's a human factor behind that little child. And the mind of that educator, the mindset of that child is what I believe is so key for us to go to tap into, so that we can teach them not just the syllabus. We can teach them not just what is needed to be educated per subject. We can try to teach these children to learn about life, skills to develop them as human beings. What are your passions? Some of those children will be academic. Other children will be more practical. Sometimes parents themselves don't have the time to acknowledge these things in their children at that early stage. So it becomes a triangular effect of what these children need. They need themselves firstly, but they need that teacher, and they also need their parent. And that threefold combination is definitely a source of where any child can benefit and grow through early childhood care to get educated enough so that they can build themselves into resilient human beings that can then encounter through whatever life may throw at them. I'm sorry there's no presentation, and these are just my little bits of words of that I wanted to share today. Thank you again so much, Hadiana and Sister Esther and IIU for this amazing platform. And I look forward to many more. And thank you to all the speakers for your patience as well. God bless.
Thank you, dear sister, Professor, Dr. Mehrania. I really admire you in spite of your condition. I know what is your condition, but you still make it a point to keep your words, to be here with us. Thank you so much for your impressive and pleasant, although you're not well, Nobody will know unless we tell. Yeah, you have been very pleasant throughout your speech. And I thank you so much. Take care. And I would like to call upon Dr. Supriya Pathak to say a few words about Professor Dr. Mehran's speech, please. Welcome.
First of all, it's really good to see you, Professor Dr. Mehran. Actually, we have connected with last 3 years. And dear Professor Dr. Ambassador Mehran, first of all, please take care because our health is our wealth. So please take care, dear. My best wishes, my good wishes are with you. Regarding your speech, it's really, really tremendous. Marvelous speech, dear. Marvelous speech. It's a very motivating and it's a very inspiring one. And I would like to add here, you said, let us learn about life. Yes, we have to give the message to our children. We have to give this message to all the people around. You also mentioned that let us say no to paperwork. I like this line. Yes, we have to say no about the paperwork. You also give the importance to the school books, and you also focus that how can we develop the mindset of our students, of our children. So it is really, really important. We now actually in this ultra modern business world, this is time that we have to develop the positive mindset among the students, among the children. We have to make them aware about that what is the wrong, what is the right. Actually, in this digitalized world, they forgot to compare that what is wrong and what is right. So thank you, dear. Thank you very much. Your speech is very, very enlightening. And thank you very much for joining us, for enlightening us with this beautiful thoughts. And please take care, dear. Thank you. Thank you, dear Astara. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Supriya Pathak, for the well-articulated and inspiring feedback. Thank you so much for being here today with us as well. Okay, I am over to you, Ambassador Diana.
Okay, thank you so much for all the observers, Dr. Supriya, Dr. Richa, Dr. Pius, for being really supportive in today's session, and Professor Mehran, get well soon. I'm praying for you to get speedy recovery. Thank you so much for joining with us. Now I'm going to call our first speaker. We are having another amazing person with us right now. Yes, we are having Professor Dr. Andy Sahriar Parvez from Bangladesh. He is a founder and CEO of IPRH Bangladesh, global professional educator, international speaker, ambassador at SPSE, and global professional educator and lifetime member at Institute of Global Professional. He is also Peace Ambassador at Bangladesh, Mo Yuruponki Foundation, and also advisor at Bangladesh Tourism Explorer Association. Welcome, Professor. Please enlighten us with your knowledge. Professor Ashpriya, can you please turn on your camera and unmute yourself?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, but not visible.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, because I am actually now on a, yes, I hear you clearly. So I am on a remote village. So there is a network issue. I don't know whether you hear my voice or not. So as for that reason, I'm just saying, am I audible again? You hear my voice now?
Yes, I can hear your voice clearly, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So thank you so much for inviting me these kinds of wonderful webinar and conference by IIU, and I give my gratitude to Brother Piyush Pandit because he is the man of creation, so always I say, and also I give my respect to Professor Esther Amala because she is actually doing a great job. And also in this platform, actually, there are lots of personalities are here. So today, actually, what we are talking in this platform, that is the childhood education. So I think I will discuss about the behavior of early childhood behavior. Actually, what we actually mention here, actually, the point is here that uh, when after the child born, at first each and everything he just know from his or her parents or her family. So that is the main thing. I think the family, the parents are the main school for any children, also for me, and I think also for you. So the point is here that if as a parents, if you don't understand the childhood behavior, early childhood behavior of your children, then it's not possible for the teacher to understand the main of finding their nature. Because if we just concern about the theory, there are lots of theory are here. So I cannot saying that that there are the Bloom's taxonomy theory, there are Fraser theory, there are lots of theory that how can we develop the mental behavior of a child. But yes, we understand the behavior of a child. Like Dr. Supri already told that, yes, Johnny, Johnny, yes, Papa, yes, we understand that my children actually doing a thing with my norms, with my that is called goal. So what are the main target for the parents? The parents always want to be concerned with their child, because now today is the world, we are we are busy with our work, so we have no time for our child. So that is one of the main reason that the teacher actually facing a problem in classroom, because some of the children are too much extrovert, some of them are too much introvert. So there is the main thing that how can you understand the behavior. At first, as a parents, you must understand the behavior of your child, and you know, the day by day there is increasing the mental behavior of children, because they actually now like in my childhood memories, I still remember that I just ran away to a large field, a green field. So now in my child always thinking about the mobile phone. So what's the difference between me and my child behavior? They are actually technology based child. Now, if we are just thinking about the boomers children, the boomer baby boomers, now the generation X, generation Y, generation Nexus. So we are actually day by day just change our generation. So each and every generation has their own circle. Now, I just say that my children, some of time he just doing a TikTok video in mobile phone. So if I just say, oh, you don't do this so I am actually wrong, because that is the era. He or she know the technology. So that is the thing. So in this way, in a classroom children behavior, the early childhood behavior is almost very much necessary point nowadays. So as a teacher, as a faculty, each of you are a faculty or a teacher. I'm just concerned with the tertiary education. Some of you are doing concerning with primary education. Some of you are secondary education. Like in my tertiary education, also in the university level, I just wondered that some of my students never talk a little word, because they, if they don't understand anything, then also they never speak out. So I must understand the behavior of that student, because from his or her child, nobody actually teach her or observe her behavior. So that is the main thing, that how can we now concerning this issue. And yes, it is a platform that from this platform the teacher know better about their behavior and their that is called classroom situation. And yes, we are the mentor. So if I just said about this thing, I just only said one thing, that if you want to understand the behavior of your children, at first it is the duty for the mother, for the father, for the parents to understand the behavior of a childhood educational behavior from your children. Otherwise, it's not possible for a faculty, for a teacher to understand. So on that situation, you just give time to your that is called your children, because today's our we are the parents, we are never giving a fruitful or resourceful time, or not spending a fruitful resourceful time with our child. Otherwise it's not possible to give them a beautiful world. So thank you so much, and again I give my gratitude to this platform, and Eid Mubarak to all of my Muslim friends all around the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor Shariar. What a brilliant sharing you have done. Great, in spite of your technical issues and poor connection. I would like to call upon now Azra. Miss Azra, are you around, Miss Azra, to give feedback?
She's here, but probably.
Yeah, just now she said she's here. Azra, okay.
Am I visible now?
Yeah, you are visible. Madam Kohila, would you like to give
I don't
feedback?
know.
Would you like to give feedback on Professor Shariar's speech? If you are not available, it's okay. How about Ambassador Caleb?
I think Professor Esther, you just give one feedback, because I think that will be better for us also.
Yeah, Ken, but now I'm busy coordinating a lot of texts. Ambassador Caleb, are you around? Are you around? Okay, we are not going to waste time.
Yes, of course, I'm around.
Okay, please, yeah, please, you are invited for this purpose. Please share with us the feedback on Professor Shariar Parvez.
Yeah, good afternoon, English guest, and early intelligence. This is a gathering for early childhood education. I've been listening to all of our respected speakers, and a lot have been learned. And I must say that it's such a privilege to be in the midst of wonderful personalities. So, and of course, when we talk about education and when we look at the whole contextual meaning of this early childhood education, you discover that it still boils down to United Nations Sustainable Goal agenda of goal 4 of quality education. Actually, I do not have any much things to say. I'm just a guest and an observer of this wonderful discussion. Of course, it is just to contribute my own quota of knowledge to it in my own little way. And of course, when we talk about this issue of education, we all know that we cannot survive without education, and education is a means of implementation of all the UN SDG goals, consisting of about 197 targets that we all know about. And of course, when we talk about education also, it is to nurture the mind. When we talk about education, we can talk about the human capital development. And of course, when we talk about the means of implementation, some things, and of course, we need to put some right things in place to make sure that the education is having the target of education under the UNSGD Goal 4 can be met. And we can also talk about educational infrastructures, as we all know. We can also talk about the capacity building for teachers. That is also very, very important to make sure that we meet up the UNSGD goal, and particularly when we talk about childhood education, so that the target under childhood education can be met. So I do not have much things to say. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity and the invitation, Professor Esther Mala, and also distinguished guests. So it is very important that as we grow and as we develop in the coming years, it is important that every nation should invest because education is human capital development, and education can make us to come about the realization of the other UNSGD goals that we are talking about, and education is power. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Caleb, for your sharing. It's really Nice of you to just pick up. And of course, it's amazing. Let's back to you, Ambassador Diana, to call upon.
Okay. Thank you so much, my dear Estera, Professor Shahriar, and Ambassador Kala, for your wonderful observation. Now I'm going to call our next speaker. We are having since the very beginning, Madam Katia Bilbiru from Georgia. She is an educator, English teacher at private school, international speaker, and author. Welcome, my dear. The stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, I'm very happy and I'm grateful for having me here. And today I'm going to talk about one of the most important topics. This is how to be an understanding parent for 2 or 6 years kids. I will express my personal opinion about this topic. And being an understanding parent for children aged 2 or 6 involves providing love, support, and guidance while recognizing and addressing their developmental needs. And here are some tips to help you to be an understanding parent during this crucial stage of your child's life. First of all, that first one is that I want to talk about is communicate effectively, which means that you have to use simple, age-appropriate language to communicate with your child, encourage them to express their thoughts and feelings, and actively listen to them. This helps them feel understood and valued. The second one that I want to talk about is set realistic expectations. It is to understand the capabilities and limitations of children at different ages. Avoid expecting too much from them, as it may lead to frustration. Instead, set realistic and achievable goals based on their developmental stage. Then we have to be patient because young children are still learning how to regulate their emotions and behaviors, and we have to practice patience and offer understanding when they make mistakes or have tantrums. Show empathy by acknowledging their feelings and offering comfort and reassurance. It is also very important to provide a structured environment. Children thrive in a structured environment that offers consistency and predictability. It means that we have to establish daily routines for meals, playtime, and bedtime. Clear rules and expectations help children feel secure and understand boundaries. Offer choices within limits. It is also very important. You have to allow your child to make age-appropriate choices whenever possible. This empowers them and helps develop their decision-making skills. However, set appropriate limits and provide guidance to ensure their choices are safe and reasonable. We have to foster independence. Encourage your child's independence by providing opportunities for them to complete tasks on their own. Allows them to dress themselves, pick out their clothes, and participate in simple household chores. Offer praise and support for their efforts. As for the playing and engagement, we have playing is crucial for a child's development. Engage in age-appropriate activities that encourage exploration, creativity, and learning. And we have to get down to their level, show genuine interest, and participate in their play. This strengthens the parent-child bond. Positive, as it is also we have to take this step into consideration. Practice positive discipline instead of restoring to punishment. Focus on positive discipline techniques. Set clear boundaries. Redirect their behavior when needed, and use positive reinforcement such as praise and rewards to encourage good behavior. And the last one, which is very crucial, because without this, you won't be able to be a good parent or to be a good teacher. Take care of yourself. Being an understanding parent also means taking care of your own well-being. Ensure you have enough rest. Seek support from your partner or loved ones, and engage in self-care activities. When you feel balanced and refreshed, you can better meet the needs of your child. So thank you for your attention, and thank you again for having me. And that's all from my side.
Thank you so much, Madam Katia. You are a shining star now. Yeah, fantastic, powerful sharing. I would like to call upon, Madam Shyama Marikar again to give the feedback for Katia. Are you available, Madam Shyama? It's an honor to have your feedback. She's not there. Okay, Azra, are you available to give a feedback?
Hi, thank you for having me among you. Thank you all. And I want to add that early childhood care typically includes activities for safe environments and
Hi,
mindset
Azra.
goals.
Azra,
Yes,
sorry to
yes,
interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt. Can you please give feedback? Say one or two
yes. Really,
words about
all
your
talks
speech.
are
Madam Tanya's
all
speech.
talks are so important.
Yes.
Yes, was so informative and was great. Nothing to add. Just wanted to add my ideas to her, but nothing to add. Really was so great.
Yeah. Over. Are you done?
I mean, nothing to add. No need to add something. Really was great and informative.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madam Azra. Okay, next, over to you, Ambassador Hardiana. Professor Ravinder is here, I think. Is he here? He just texted me.
He's not here.
Oh.
Okay, so I will go as the list as he's not here.
Wait. I think he just texted me. I'm asking him to come in. Maybe he's logging.
Yeah, but if he's logging, it will show up that he's connecting.
Yeah, he's online.
Yeah, so I will call the next speaker as
Wait.
on the list.
1 minute. Are you coming? Are you coming in? Please log in. We are waiting for you. Driving. Huh? 2 minutes. Okay. He's driving. 2 minutes.
Okay, so it means we are going to call the next speaker.
Okay, maybe I can share. The observers rules. Yeah, is it okay?
Yes, it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, let me share the observers rules. Yeah, dear observers, please, when I call upon your name to share the feedback, kindly share. And of course, our honorable guest speakers, if you want to also give feedback for the speeches of other speakers, you are most welcome. Yeah, just text me on my personal WhatsApp or on the chat box. But I think personal WhatsApp is better. Okay, let me share with you what are the rules for guests who's observers. You please switch on your video at all times unless you are leaving your seat or eating. Mute your mic unless it's your turn to speak. Your feedback is 30 seconds to 1 minute. Then later we will send you the link for you to fill up. Once you, before you leave, kindly fill up. Yeah, thank you so much. Is Professor, is it 2 minutes? Okay, then the rules for the speaker again, Diana, you want to share?
Yes, I think all the speakers have seen that. I will show again the example. I have my timer on the screen.
Yeah, please observe.
As you can see in here. So each speaker and observer, they will have the different time, like Professor Star already mentioned. Speaker will have 10 minutes, and also the observer will have 30 seconds to 1 minute. So please pay attention on the screen. And beside that, like Professor Star already said, that please turn on your camera if it's possible, unless maybe you are having an internet problem. So it's okay, we can understand it, but to make a really supportive environment in this webinar, I do really encourage all of you to switch on your camera, because yeah, it's supporting each other and it's really important. And please don't directly leave the session if you finish your speech, because we want to support, we want us to get listened by other people, so we also have to respect other people as well. So they are expecting the same thing. So let's making a really healthy environment in here. Okay, my dear, can I call the next speaker, Professor?
Please call, because yeah, he's coming.
Okay, he's coming.
Oh my God, I just admitted him. Wow.
Okay.
I just admitted him.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah, he's here. He's here.
Okay, he's connecting the audio, so I'm waiting. Okay, our next speaker will be Professor Dr. Rafinder Rena, represents South Africa. He is a professor, academician, and distinguished scholar in economics. He's also a writer, editor, advisor, and motivational speaker. Welcome, Professor. Please enlighten us with your knowledge and experience.
Thank you very much, Hadrina, the moderator, and also would like to thank Professor Esther Mala and all IAE colleagues from different corners of the world. It's indeed a proud privilege for me to be part of this event that is close to everybody's heart, and it is an important topic because early childhood education is the one which can touch the minds and souls of every human being in this world. And I congratulate the project director and other colleagues to choose this important topic of early childhood education. Without wasting much time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to touch upon some of the important issues pertaining to the early childhood education 2030. What is this early childhood education? I just would like to mention a few points here, that starting from the parenthood until the 8 years of age. So whatever the child learns and whatever that takes place between 0 to 8 years, that is what is basically a kind of early childhood education. Of course, we can always define that newborn baby 0 to 4 weeks, and maybe 1 month to 1 year old, we can say that infant baby, and 2 years, 1 year to 2 years, we say toddler, and maybe 3 years upwards, they are early childhood age group, and we also say different things. Up to 6 years, they are kind of early childhood education people, because the definitions could vary, but UNESCO, if you look at the definition, that is the standard definition that we speak about early childhood. What are the key challenges that we have? What are the issues that we have? What the child would learn during this specific period of time? If you look at that emotionally and physically and intellectually, the child tries to grow the ability to understand and think what is right, what is wrong at that particular age. So we need to give the foundation and support for such children where they learn. We are laying the foundation for them and for their future. If we could be able to provide that foundation is strong enough, and they can be better citizens of this globe, of respective countries. But unfortunately, if we look at the statistics that are available, ladies and gentlemen, UNESCO, according to UNESCO statistics recently, the study reveals that for every 10 early childhood group of children, that is 0 to 8 years of age, out of 10 children of that age group, only 4 are really learning something, that maybe they are going to preschools, LKG, UKG, and so on. But remaining all other children, they are simply sitting at home, doing nothing, playing, and probably sometimes they're bored and so on and so forth. So this is what is happening. That means only 40% of the children in this world, they could have the access to the early childhood education. So that's an important point I would like to raise here. So if we look at out of those 40%, there are some countries like Finland, and of course Finland ranks #1, and Scandinavian countries like Iceland and probably Denmark and maybe Denmark and Finland and Iceland. Those are the countries among the Scandinavian. These rank on top of 10 or 15 countries in the world in terms of the development of early childhood education. Even France also to some extent, although it's not a Scandinavian country. So when we look at the early childhood formation, a country like China, where there is a large number of people living after India, India being the first largest populated country, China is the second largest populated country. In these two countries, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we do not have a proper early childhood education centers. Of course, for the past 10 to 20 years down the line, because of the technological revolutions, we can see some changes, particularly in the urban sector, where in cities, metropolitan cities, and some of the private institutions, they come forward and they set up these institutions for, of course, for business purpose, not to really grow the child and their mental abilities and their, emotional abilities and so on. So this is what is happening. But of course, when we look at those Asian side, these two countries, they comprise close to 42% of the total population of the world. But unfortunately, we do not have the early childhood education support. So it is important because now when the child grows, this stage is particularly important for every child space of their life. That will formally formate a kind of upbringing, a right upbringing. So therefore, the child needs to understand basic things. And for instance, we are celebrating, or we are also talking so much about the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. And if you look at those Sustainable Development Goals, ladies and gentlemen, out of that tremendous amount of targets that we have and 17 goals that we have, 19 targets especially talk about the children. So hence, we need to, if we could able to mold the children and their mindset and their way of thinking from this age onwards, and they could be a better citizens, having a critical assessment, rationalistic thinking, and therefore they would also do the right things. Otherwise, children of nowadays, normally they don't listen to the parents. That's all of our parents, they will agree with me. And this particular generation of Z generation, or maybe millennials, they are always creating problem for all of us. So therefore, the mindset need to be balanced, where they need to understand the environment, they need to respect the elders and the family members, they need to respect wherever they go, other fellow human beings. So this is not taking place. So henceforth, ladies and gentlemen, this particular education, it plays a vital role. And of course, in terms of education side, Korea, South Korea, and also Singapore, Japan, they also have some, particularly from Asian continent. These are the countries, they do have centers that are ECD, Early Childhood Education Development Centers. And so they also try to promote. That's why Korean students, they have the better mathematical understanding if we compare with the rest of the world. Of course, Indians are not inferior to that. And the Japanese also, they have technically advanced because they give priority for this particular phase of early childhood education. I think without wasting much time, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, my time is, can I take maybe another 2 to 3 minutes, Professor Malaji? Is there
You only have 2 minutes more, 2 minutes point 35 seconds, sir.
Yes, that's correct. And yeah, so
You
yes.
can look at the screen, yeah? You can look at the screen, then you know time.
No problem, no problem. And thanks. So henceforth, ladies and gentlemen, that this particular educationally, I know we talk about so much about America, for instance. America is the #1 country in terms of education development because they got more than 1,200 universities and thousands of colleges and so on. And their early childhood education is also strong enough. But overall, if we look at, it's not about early childhood education, but it is about how we treat our children at their young age. That also matters a lot. And if we could able to raise those children in a systematic manner, and for instance, if we look at Finland, Finland ranks #1 in educationally. Why? Because simply they don't give any stress, any kind of work, any kind of academic burdens imposed on the children at that particular age. They enjoy their life up to 7 years. They do nothing literally. They simply go to the schools, they play, and they do simple things, and then that's how they progress. So that is probably we are not following that. And Finland, that is why the brain or IQ levels of Finland children, but the children that are educated in Finland, they also have more IQ because of the no stress. And even educational psychologists also could agree with me that too much content imposition will not bring any success. And these days, particularly the different schools, colleges, we impose so much content. We ask them to keep reading and probably doing a lot of exercises and a lot of assessments and so on. So that doesn't guarantee to have the successful, matured intellect actually. So therefore, we shouldn't give too much content-based this thing. We need to give them the practical-oriented education, which is imperative and it is important, ladies and gentlemen. So with this few words from my side, I got a lot to talk about, but in the interest of time, I would like to conclude by saying thanks to the IAU and also thanks to the project director and all the colleagues from different corners of the world to take part in this event. Thank you, Vananda.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Ravinder. In spite of your busy schedule today, I know you made it a point to join us. What an incredible, impactful, and insightful sharing. I know you have a lot to share. Yeah. As I say, you are a walking library. Thank you so much for your time, sir, and for being here. Back to you, Ambassador Hardiana, to invite next speaker. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you so much, Professor Ravinder. It was really great. And before I call our next speaker, I want to remind that we have been together here for more than an hour. And as we are sitting in front of the screen, I want to remind all of our speakers and participants to keep hydrated. So take your water, please, and enjoying the webinar. Okay, our next speaker is Dr. Dia Chowdhury from Pakistan. She is a young business lady, founder of International Travelers Hub and chairperson of Team Dia Global Private Limited. She is a great leader and works internationally for the cause of humanity, peace, and women empowerment. She also works hard to help the needy and poor people by organizing food drives, free education, free medical camps, and training sessions. Welcome, Dr. Dia. Please enlighten us.
Yes, excuse me. Supposed to get feedback from Madam Shyama for Professor Raymond.
Oh, okay.
Might leave. Sorry, we have called them. Dr. Dia, please wait for a while. 1 minute, please.
Thank you very much, Professor
Shyama. Thank you
for calling me again. Very good evening, everyone. As Dr. Professor Ravindra mentioned that very beautifully, the issues that early childhood children or the education system faces in today's world. So he was very clearly mentioning what is the age group that from 0 to 8 is the age where they belongs to early childhood education, the age group. So in that, usually Asian countries or underdeveloped countries, we are used to teach them with imposing content-based education, whereas Finland and America, all those countries, they have already well-developed children, and their critical thinking is an IQ level has very well improved because of their teaching method. So these kind of teaching methods, like practical oriented, right? Having fun while learning. We say that, I remember we say that hand-on learning of things. Those concepts, like if we introduce for our children, also the schools or the countries that they do not follow these systems, it's time to adapt to the new concept. I believe that was his point. He emphasized on that, and he was also saying the most importantly, not the school education or the paper education is matter, the skills, how the child grow into a very responsible citizen, right? Respecting others, caring environment. This type of education is essential at this early childhood age. So we better, if we can focus on these things, we can have a better future. That's his point. Thank you very much, Professor, for that enlightening us.
Thank you, Madam Shyama Marikar. Thank you for coming back again to give the feedback. Please carry on, Ambassador Hardiana, to invite our honorable speaker, next speaker.
Okay, I'm calling again Dr. Dia Chowdhury from Pakistan, a young business lady and founder of International Travelers Hub and chairperson of Team Dia Global Private Limited. Welcome, my dear, beautiful friend. Please enlighten us with your knowledge.
Thank you for having me, respected Professor Esther Mala, and thank you for your kind invitation. Thank you for introducing me so nicely, dear Professor Hardiana. Good morning and good evening to everyone. My most respected and inspirational personalities from all over the globe. Today we are here together to discuss about major cause of childhood care and education. I will deliver my speech on importance of childhood education. While early childhood education continues to be of high importance to parents, policymakers, and the public, many incorrectly identify this critical period as birth through preschool and kinder. Although the brain develops the majority of its neurons between birth and 3 years old, early childhood education is defined as the period of birth through 8 years old, correlating with the second or third grade level. In terms of human development, in the importance of early childhood education can't be overstated. A child's early years are the foundation for his or her future development, providing strong base for lifelong learning and learning abilities, including cognitive and social development. When we talk about education, we are not referring only to the academic knowledge, all the information that we collect in the first years of life. That helps us to function in the world and develop fully as people. That is why childhood education is so important. It is in the first 6 years of life when the best conditions exist to acquire the tools that will allow us to develop and function in any situation throughout our lives. Enhance the importance of education in the first moments of a child's life. The child's learning process and growth as a person depend on those messages, intellectual and emotional connections. That is why it is important to prove a healthy education for children. Childhood education is a path to full development. It paves your ideas and concepts for future plans. Congratulations and best wishes to all the panel of International Internship University. You people are doing great work and making significant contributions towards international peace and future development of our new generation. Thank you a lot for your attention. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dia Chowdhury. You are as amazing as usual, now becoming more and more beautiful and fascinating. And I really impressed with your sharing about the early childhood. Thank you for coming. Back to you, Ambassador Hardiana, to call upon next speaker.
Okay, we are now going to call the next observer.
Observer, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Next observer, sorry. Our next observer will be, who did I call just now? Too many. Wait,
Probably Mr. Amir Ali. He has been here, but he hasn't spoken.
No, Amir Ali is for another person. Just now I called somebody who's that for Dr. Dia. Wait, yeah. Yeah, it's Dr. Anjum. Yeah, Dr. Anju? Why, you're quietly watching us.
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
She's a guest speaker, but she's also giving feedback. You're much honored, Doctor.
Thank you, Astra ma'am. That's really an honor for me. And yes, I was listening to Dr. Dia. It was an amazing speech. And yes, she said about the importance of early childhood education. Of course, we know that a child's brain, it will develop. Most of the development of a child's brain, it takes place in the early years. So whatever he or she learns during those days, it is very important. The knowledge that he gains and everything that that the child learns, it is very important. So yes, we should pay more attention on childhood education, because when whatever a child learns, he is going to just become that if he learns something good, if he learns something positive, so he is going to be a more balanced human being in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anjum, for this good feedback. Yeah, Ambassador Hardiana, please proceed to call next speaker.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Dia, for your enlightened speech. Now we have another beautiful and smart lady with us. We just gave her observation for our previous speaker. Yes, our next speaker is Dr. Anjum Qureshi from India. She is an assistant professor at Rajiv Gandhi College of Engineering Research and Technology, Chandrapur, India. She's also an author, life coach, parenting coach, career counselor. So yeah, what a wonderful personality, right? Please welcome Dr. Anjum. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Adiana and Esther and Mr. Ma'am and all the team of IIU for this wonderful opportunity. And today I will be speaking about how empathy, we can teach empathy to the preschoolers. I have been listening to so many of my previous speakers, and it was really great listening to all of them. If we talk about empathy, some of you may be thinking that it is a word like, with this children whom we are calling the preschoolers, they can understand. Yeah, they can understand this term empathy, but of course, we can teach them what empathy means. If I talk about according to mental health first aid curriculum, empathy is being able to imagine yourself in other person's place, showing the person that they are truly heard and understand you. And of course, it's different from sympathy because in sympathy, we just show pity on others, but empathy is not that, though it may sound simple, but it can take practice to demonstrate empathy on a moment's notice. And yes, as we are talking about preschoolers, so from birth, right from the birth to some 5 years, 6 years, we can say a child, the development of a brain of a child, it is more than any other time in the life. And early brain development, it will have a long-lasting impact on the ability of the child to learn and succeed in the school and later on in life. The quality of experiences that a child has during his early ages or in his first few of years of life, whether they're positive, whether negative, it will help to shape their brain and it will help to develop their brain. So when we're talking about the early years, yes, these are the best opportunities for the child's brain to develop the connections. They need to be healthy, they need to be capable and become successful adults. The connections are needed for their high level abilities like motivation, self-regulation, to develop their problem solving and communication, and all these abilities are being built. So coming back to empathy, yes, empathy is a skill that we can cultivate and we can strengthen with practice. It means that we can imagine what someone else is thinking or feeling and then respond in a caring manner. And if you talk about children, yes, even some 4-year-old, not just even 4 months old baby, they can understand what is happening around them. They can experience what other people are feeling. They can express, even if it's a small baby, he is able to express if he wants something. He will cry to express that, yes, I need this thing, I need food, or whatever it is. They know how to express their feelings. So they actually begin to understand that their actions are affecting the emotions of others. Now, let's just see in short how we can help the preschoolers, the children from 3 to 5 years or some till 6 to 7 years to develop this empathy. Firstly, I must say that we parents are always the role models. They just copy us. If you tell the children, don't do this, don't do that, they're not going to follow that. But of course, how we behave in front of them, that matters a lot. And similarly, even the teachers play a great role. So we can help the children to recognize the emotion. The first thing is that we should help the children to recognize their emotions and the emotions of others. Like if a child is angry, we can say, yes, you are angry. Are you feeling sad? So, and they should know the awareness of their body. Like if someone is stamping a feet, so we should be helping him to recognize, yes, you are angry over something. So the more the children become aware of their own emotions, they will recognize the emotions of others. And we can teach them all these emotions through play. Like we can just ask them questions. When do you feel sad? And if you're feeling sad, what is that that makes you feel better? And how we can use, how you can help someone who is feeling sad. If we will just discuss the small questions with the children, of course they will need to be more empathetic. They will be able to understand the emotions of the others. You can use pictures, because yes, of course, visual communication that we talked about, it's a great method for to teach something to the kids. We can be using pictures, we can be using different ways, and nowadays, the children just know about the emojis that we use. So they know, yes, this means sad, this means happy, and this means anger, this means disgust. So yes, we can be using pictures to explain this to the children. And we have to teach them healthy limits and boundaries, because as the children grow older, it is important that they understand empathy. It doesn't mean just taking on problems and needs of everyone around them. It just means always saying yes or dropping. And it does not mean always saying yes or dropping everything to help others. And we can help the children by reading stories in front of them. As when we are reading the stories, we can tell them help them realize how, in a particular incident, how a person is behaving and how his actions are affecting others. So yes, storybooks, they are a very great, a means to teach them empathy. Then we should teach them to care for others. For example, if you're at home and if the dad is sneezing, so if he sees that the mom gives a tissue paper, so obviously he sees it as a very good example. So such small actions about caring others, what we teach the children at home, this will teach them to be aware of others, to develop an understanding that our responses and actions can have a positive impact. And we can also model these relationships with statements like, suppose, like, yeah, some of our neighbor is sick, so let's go and meet him. Or someone is in need, so we can go and help them. So this can, this kind of statements that can sound better. And we should keep or track on, we should monitor how our child behaves. For example, if a child is breaking up a toy, so sometimes we take it to be funny. Okay, it's very normal. But I think at that time we should explain the child, no, this is not good. Breaking a toy is not good. And especially if he's breaking someone else's toy. So, we should just monitor the behavior of our children. We should teach more appropriate response, like if someone has broken a toy. So like such a thing for asking a train, or what can be done, and what, instead of starting, what you must have done. So this is some of the behavior that we have to actually explain them. And the children, those who experience more positive interactions, when, like I said earlier, that we parents have to be a role model, teachers have to be a role model, we have a great responsibility to teach empathy to the children. Yes, of course, because the children who will experience more positive interactions in their early reactions, in the early years, will go on to be healthier and more successful in the school and in life. And if there is someone who is getting exposure to violence, poverty, lack of access to quality early learning experiences, so it will have a negative impact, and negative impact on the child's development and also on the success. So yes, empathy, if we can say that the more empathy a child displays, the less they are likely to engage in bullying online and in real life. Empathetic children and adolescents are more likely to engage in positive social behaviors like helping others. They are less likely to be antisocial and exhibit uncontrolled aggressive behaviors. That's a big reason that, yes, as an educators, we have to devote more attention to empathy in the recent years and integrating it into schools and other curriculum. So teaching empathy, it does not make the kids just more emotionally and social competent, but it can also help them to be more successful and functional in the future. And I chose to speak on this topic because, yes, we can see, especially in the years, the adolescent, the crime rate is increasing. They are getting involved in so many wrong activities. So I think, yes, to avoid this, we should try to reach one of a positive attitude. We can say we can try to teach empathy right from the preschool age. And of course, practicing benefits empathy, it will only benefit you and also your loved ones. and it helps to ensure that we receive the care and understanding, and also our children will be able to maintain long-lasting and healthy relationships with everyone. So yes, we should remember to listen, to stay present, to focus on our needs and also the needs of the children, and remove any barriers to understanding the thoughts and the views and the feelings of our children. And yes, of course, with this, I can say, be the difference for yourself and those around you, and practice empathy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anjum Qureshi. What a powerful, magnificent sharing. Yeah, I'm sure everyone have benefited from your sharing. You are such an admirable and extraordinary speaker, just like many of us here. Thank you so much. Now I call upon our honorable observer, Dr. Mirel Tulikima, to give her feedback for Dr. Anjum Qureshi. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Estera, and thank you, Dr. Anjum, for such a powerful message, and really, stressing out to have empathy, teach to our young children at the early stage. Just like you were mentioning, it is, a way to build them up, to have the right character later on, and help them to connect, in a positive way, and really understand that as teacher, as parents, we have to show the right way. We have to position ourselves as role models, and really use all the tools that we have, in our hands, the communication, the verbal communication, the visual communication, and also take the time to explain to the learners, the early learners, what the impact that their actions or their emotion have on other people. So really stressing out first for them to understand their own emotion and how it impacts other people. And when we start early, it is for the best, because like you mentioned, it's not just about building up the social skills, but it also basically spread out to other areas of their life, especially as teenagers, to make sure that they have the right behavior, they bring positivity in everything that they do, and they understand really how to connect and how to get the right the right rapport with their peers, but also with anybody that they connect with. So very, very insightful and strong, especially for teachers and for parents, to be involved and to be present, because we are shaping our children at an early age, and empathy is important, especially, with everything that we see nowadays. So fantastic, fantastic insight on insisting on the empathy to be teach at an early age.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mirel Tulikima. I'm really great. In spite of your busy schedule today, you made it a point to join. I really thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
And then I'll pass on to Ambassador Hadiana to call upon our next speaker, please.
Okay, thank you, Madhu. Thank you so much, Dr. Anjum, Dr. Mirela, for your wonderful speech. Now I'm calling our next speaker, my beautiful friend from Bangladesh. She is Madam Mehjabin Pradhan Faiza. She's an author, wellness thinker, international speaker, and activist or columnist at Daily Observer BD English newspaper. Welcome, my dear. Please enlighten us with your knowledge.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Professor Estera and my dear Hadiana and IIU for organizing such wonderful event and invite across the globe. So yeah, as our today's topic is to early child care, education, and their psychological development. I was listening all our eminent speakers, how beautifully and nicely they point out those issues. So I'm just gonna share a few observations of mine on this. early childhood care and education. Early childhood care and education, which address the period from birth to 8 years old, is important because it capitalizes on and when it is of good quality can help them achieve their full potential. Early childhood care and education refers to all programs for children between ages 0 to the start of primary education. This includes both early childhood educational development and pre-primary education. It can help the foundation for good health and nutrition, learning and educational success, social emotional learning, and economic productivity throughout life. Despite the evidence for these social, human, and economic development gains, it is still often given low priority in education policy and investment, and where it does exist, may exclude marginalized groups. Early education care and their psychological development has its own extra vulnerability. Is that much of it is privately provided, and some of are like taking care of it in a small group. Here, upbringing of a child is very, very crucial for all parents, most importantly, and the educators, relatives, friends, neighbors, and every individual around the child. Even school security or nanny who are around to help them, they also have to have that same amount of knowledge how to treat them and deal with them. In instruction received by a child from its parents throughout its childhood and others, as above I have already mentioned, why upbringing is so important for childhood care and their education and for their psychological development. Ensuring children to feel safe and secure within their environment while creating a space for children to be and make meaning of the world, which is very important. Earlier, Dr. Anjum also addressed the point of empathy, so I'm not gonna talk on this. So that is a very vital part to inject while they are upbringing. During the upbringing of a child and their psychological development and education require more life sensitivity. And not only the educators, everyone should play their role properly around the child. It is very important. Psychological development, that I will break it down in a very simple words for especially to you to understand. However, let's have a look on few other aspects of early childhood care, education, and psychological development, and how all these are interconnected. What is the environmental approach in psychology? Environmental approach psychology examines the interrelationship between environments and human behavior. It's very vital. The field defines the term environment very broadly, including all that is natural on the planet, as well as social settings. Built environments, learning environmentals, and informational environments. These three are very crucial for early age. Now, let's see what are the environmental factors of development in psychology for early childhood care. Examples of environmental factors are social, friends, stimulation, recreation, emotional stress, moral reasoning, empathy, economic understanding from the aspects of educators, parents, and the elders people who are going to guide them and help them throughout their journey. And physical activities are very vital, allowing those children to be involved in any sort of games, plays that plays a crucial role for their psychological proper development. The main approach in psychology, there are 5 major approaches in psychology: biological, behavioral, cognitive, and humanistic. Each approach attempts to explain human behavior differently. So as a worldwide, 75% of children were enrolled in pre-primary education 1 year before the official primary entry, age in the school year ending. But it's just a second. In times of crisis, the closure of schools and other institutions and provided protection, health, nutrition, learning, and social emotional nurturing. Young children represent an immense threat during that COVID time that we passed through. That trauma might be still troubling those kids. So what initiative we are taking to overcome all this, I think we need to emphasize on that area. And development of potential psychological development for the early age was blind spot in many countries, as earlier other speaker also mentioned. Before that COVID, I already addressed. So here I would like to, just a second. For that upbringing, where upbringing is important, especially when that child is around 4 to 8 years old. How parents and the teachers are behaving around them is very important, because that moment maybe they are not aware of what is happening, but the intonation of their speech and behavior of the adults could impact those children when they are growing up. So the foundation, whatever the one child is gonna become at the age of 16 to 18, it's developed at the age of 8 mostly. For all this is to children. So I think focusing on their inner well-being is very important, and behavior of the elders is very important, and taking it personally and sincerely, along with the schools and all the educators to come along and provide a very nice, important educational system through empathy, as everyone already mentioned. I also support. I think this is very important, not to pressurize them, and understanding their learning capacity is also important, because some kids might be very good at visual learning, some might be physical, some might like reading stories, listening. So yeah, I'd like to end my speech here to them a little bit and well. Thank you very much for having me, and I'd like to wish all of you happy Eid Mubarak.
Thank you so much, Madam Faiza Pradhan. Wow, you are not well, yet you rocked. Thank you so much for sharing in depth about the early childhood learning. Yeah, now, thank you for coming and being with us. Now, I would like to call upon Professor Dr. Richa to give your feedback for Madam Faiza's speech. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Professor Esther. So it was nice presentation. I appreciate the way she broke down complex concepts, and her passion was for the subject matter was evident in every word of her speech. The example and case studies she shared during her presentation were incredible, insightful. She brought the subject matter to life, as she mentioned about the age groups and what should be done for those children. Her expertise in the field was shown in her speech, and she was, yes, Esther, she was energetic. I was not knowing that she wasn't well. She was energetic and has captivated us. And her vision was clear about the psychological development, about the early child, and upbringing of child is very important. And she related with psychological aspect, which is nowadays we can say interplay between the psychology, and she related with the COVID period. Yes, that should be taken in the that should be considered. And environment and behavior is related to the early age. She clearly maintained this point that environment is the thing which should be taken in consideration. And it was a nice presentation by her. Thank you, Esther.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Richa Ranjan, for your insightful sharing as well. Okay, Ambassador Hardiana, please carry on to the next speaker.
Okay, thanks a lot, my dear Faiza and Dr. Richa, for your insightful speech and feedback. Now I'm calling our next speaker from Georgia. Yes, we are having with us now a beautiful, wonderful lady, Madam Makasi Karileze. Apologies if I pronounce it wrong. She is an English teacher, a tutor, educator, international speaker, certified career counselor. Welcome, my lovely dear. The stage is yours.
Yes,
Welcome,
she's
everyone.
lovely. She's not only
Welcome,
lovely,
everyone.
she's very patient. Every
Welcome,
conference I
welcome.
watch her. She's very
My
patient.
dear.
Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. I am so happy to be with you. Such a great summit today. Thanks to all. Is my presentation visible?
Yes, my dear, it's visible.
Yes, I am Makasi Kharuliza from Georgia. I am teacher, tutor, translator, international speaker. Why is early childhood care and education important? The period from birth to 8 years old is one of remarkable brain development for children and represents a crucial window of opportunity for education. When children are healthy, safe, and learning well in their early years, they are better able to reach their full developmental potential as adults and participate effectively in economic, social, and civic life. The child's early experiences can provide either a strong or a fragile foundation for later learning, development, and behaviors. Second, the larger economic returns or investment in pre or to school program than in programs for adolescents and adults has been demonstrated. Third, educational sciences have revealed that participation in early childhood care and education programs boost children's school readiness and reduces the gap between socially advantaged and disadvantaged children at the starting gate of school. The Global Education 2030 Agenda UNESCO as the United Nations Specialized Agency for Education is entrusted to lead and coordinate the Education 2030 Agenda, which is part of a global movement to eradicate poverty through 17 Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Education essential to achieve all of these goals has its own dedicated goal 4, which aims to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. The Education 2030 Framework for Action provides guidance for the implementation of this ambitious goal and commitments. Early childhood care and education. This term ECCE has been used by UNESCO to refer to a broad range of service provided to children from pre-connection until the age of 18 years. ECCA programs include services that promote good health, adequate nutrition, good sanitation and hygiene, support children cognitive, social, emotional, physical development, protect children from harm, and ECCE also supports parents and caregivers in enhancing their own and their children's well-being through micronutrient supplementation, psychological support, parental leave, and child care. ECCA service may be provided in formal settings such as early childhood education centers and primary schools, in non-formal settings or informal settings, including homes. Increasingly, online support services are provided, particularly to caregivers and educators. And global attention to ECCE has declined, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. To resolve this, UNESCO rallied the international community to jointly develop the global partnership strategy for early childhood, which outlines key strategies to successfully develop national policies and programs and actively engage regions and sectors to mobilize resources and galvanize initiatives. And the development and educational opportunities that children have access to in their early years have a lasting impact on their health as adults. Different kinds of methods of studying found that at the 21 years, the people who participate in the comprehensive early education program exhibited fewer risky health behaviors. For example, they were less likely to binge, drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, and use illegal drugs. This group also self-reported better health and had a lower number of deaths. And furthermore, by their mid-30s, the children who participate in the comprehensive early childhood development and education program had a lower risk for heart disease and associated risk factors, including obesity, high blood pressure, elevated blood sugar, and high cholesterol. These studies show that quality early childhood development and education programs can play a key role and reducing risky health behaviors and preventing or delaying the onset of chronic disease adulthood. Play, learn, and grow together. By 2030, ensure that all girls and boys have access to quality early childhood development, care, and pre-primary education, and so that they are ready for primary education by 2030. Ensure equal access for all women and men to affordable and quality technical, vocational, and tertiary education, including university. In 2015, early childhood development became part of the Sustainable Development Goals. These global goals include a commitment to ensure that by the year 2030, all children will have equitable access to quality early childhood development and early learning opportunities. SDG indicator was chosen to specifically monitor the impact of government action towards this target, and UNICEF was tasked to lead the development of a measure to track progress. That same year, UNICEF initiated a process of methodological development that involved extensive consultations with experts, partner agencies, and national statistical authorities. And early childhood education is important because it provides a strong foundation for lifelong learning and learning abilities, including cognitive and social development. Other benefits of early childhood care and education include socialization, developing brain capacity, understanding with activity-based fun learning, developing self-esteem and self-confidence, developing value education, and improving concentration and investing in health. What are the consequences of foundation learning? SEC is a prerequisite for meeting the right to learn and to develop. In particular, access to primary education is a basis for acquiring foundational learning, including literacy, numeracy, and social emotional learning. Yet, according to the research, estimate about 64% of children in low and middle income countries cannot read and understand a simple story at the age 10. The roots of this learning poverty start in ECCE and its lack of a capacity to make children ready for school. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for paying attention for me. Thank you very much to all to be here today.
Thank you, Honorable dear Madam Maka. As you are also another shining star from Georgia. What an incredible, fascinating, fantabulous presentation. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your patience. Yeah. Now I'd like to call upon Professor Dr. Ravinder Rena to give feedback on Madam Maka's speech. Thank you. Welcome, sir.
Well, thank you very much, madam, for the opportunity. Maka, wonderful presentation. Well done. You touched so many issues pertaining to the early childhood education within the span of 10 minutes. And you covered the Millennium Development Goals. You also touched upon the Sustainable Development Goals, where you emphasized that the Goal 4 is important because that is where the quality education for all. You touched that, and you also touched the issues pertaining to socio-economic development and language development, cognitive developmental issues, which are pertinent for child growth. And he also covered that within the low-income countries or middle-income countries, where or basically underdeveloped countries or developing countries in the world, where 64% of the children, they cannot able to read. If at all they read, they can't understand. And that is a major concern actually at the age of up to at the age of 10 years. So that's where the poverty, they are trying to develop the poverty actually, because poverty is not coming, it's not a mission-made kind of stuff, it's a man-made stuff actually. So if you cannot able to read, learn, understand, relearn, you are absolutely pushed into the poverty yourself. So those are some of the aspects you touched, and it's wonderful presentation, Maka, and well done.
You.
So we
Thank you
appreciate
very much
you.
for such a positive feedback. Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor. Thank you to all speakers. Thank you, my great leader, Inga Khachilawat. Great support. Thank you, Georgian team. All, thank you very much.
Yeah, please.
Good luck.
Yeah, dear speakers, please stay on. We'll have our Dr. Inga to give our closing later. Okay. Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Ravinder. Reina, I know you will give a fantastic feedback. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Back to you, Ambassador Hardiana, to call upon our last but not least, a new speaker on international platform.
Okay. Thank you, my dear Maka, for a wonderful presentation. And also thanks a lot, Professor Ravinder, for your constructive feedback. It was really amazing. Okay, now we're coming to our last speaker. We are having a great human being. She is Madam Chintamani Vicky from Mauritius. She's a special child educator that has been working for 32 years at SOS Children's Village, Kindergarten Mauritius, which is an organization for abandoned children. Wow, I think it's really great personality that resonated much with our team for today. So welcome, ma'am. Please enlighten us with your knowledge and experience.
Oh, Hi, good afternoon and good morning, everyone. Thank you for.
Dear Chintamani, dear Madam Chintamani, can you adjust your screen? We can only see you until your chin. Can you adjust a bit? Yeah, or come nearer. Yes, yes, fantastic, fantastic.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much and good evening
My dear Madam Chintamani, apologize, we couldn't hear your voice. Can you please speak louder?
Okay, I would like to thank Professor Esther for inviting me.
I think she has.
Yes, I can hear your voice actually, but probably because you are not too close to the microphone, so it's kind of far from the voice, but maybe you can try to speak louder if it's possible.
Yeah, I think my is that
could it be because of the bandwidth?
I don't know because I have.
Okay, can you start? Yeah, you just carry on. I think you just carry on.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen.
Yes, you can share your screen.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Dear audience and speakers, honorable speakers, this is the first time she's appearing.
So good day and welcome to honorable speakers. Can you
We can't see. Did you click on the?
Actually, if it's appear like this, it's processing on her laptop or computer.
Oh,
yes. So it's already has started share the screen, and it might be affect because of the internet connection.
Yes, she's having internet connection problem.
So am I audible? Can I continue?
Yes, you are audible, and we can see your share screen right now.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So I'm Chintamani from Mauritius. I'm a special
Apologies, ma'am. I'm sorry for interrupting you. We can see that your screen is visible when you scroll it down, but unfortunately we couldn't hear your voice. Could you please speak louder or maybe closer to the laptop?
So
Yes.
my topic is the abandoned children and their challenges. Clear me now. Is it difficult?
Yes, you can try to speak in that distance because I think it will be clearer.
So the abandoned children and their challenges. Secondary children or those who just enjoy the
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Chintamani, for joining with us. I know like probably there is a connection issue and we couldn't hear your voice, but luckily we still can see your screen. So it's yeah, it's okay. And can you please stop sharing the screen so we can carry on the session? Okay. Okay, while we are waiting, Madam Chintamani.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you please stop sharing the screen?
Yes.
Okay, you can try to point your cursor on the upper side and then there will be the option to stop share with the yes. And when you find it, you can click it. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, my dear Chintamani. It was really
Well done. Well done, Madam Chintamani. Although we couldn't hear you speaking, your text really carries
I'm
great
sorry.
value. I don't know what's wrong with your Wi-Fi. When we speak, it's okay. When you present problem, okay, fine. You say what you got to say.
Okay.
Done? Okay. Now,
Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much, Madam Chintamani. Let me call upon our respected observer Amir Ali to give feedback on what the material he saw. Just few words.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
No, it's I'm calling Mr. Amir Ali.
Hello,
Mr. Amir Ali?
everyone.
Yeah.
My voice is audible?
Yes.
Okay. And this was a very, very powerful materials is according to the research, according to the NGOs about this. And ma'am said that there are the many, in the text is written that there are the many orphan children, there are the many problems about in society, we can see in every area have a problem. Sometimes is a family problem, sometimes have the divorce problem, sometimes I have children have not have skills about to learn about the language, about learn about anything, but they are active in other activities. But some children they teach many languages, but we must be a ma'am said that we use that native language means GTM method, grammar translator method, and their own language. And thank you so much, ma'am. It was a very powerful material. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Amir. Thank you for your patience. You waited very patiently till the end, together with your wonderful speaker, Madam Chintamani. Good to have you here today, and hope to see both of you
Thank you so
again.
much, Professor Estera. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. 1 minute, yeah? Okay. Hand over to Ambassador Hardiana to do the next, to invite our Dr. Inga to give a closing speech.
Okay. Thank you so much, my dear. Okay, thank you so much, Madam Chintamani, for your presentation. Thanks a lot, Mr. Arli, for your wonderful feedback. Now, before we end the session, I'd like to call our IIU country director that has been with us since the beginning. She's really passionate and providing our webinar to go live, helping us for this session. Please welcome my dear Dr. Inga Karchilova from Georgia. So, my dear, what's your opinion in today's session?
Welcome. I just share a link for participants. Okay. Oh my God, thank you so much and congratulations to all of you. Welcome from Georgia with great love and respect. Congratulations to everyone on this important conference. All the speakers, we are amazing. Everyone shared an important presentation and very, very powerful message. Thanks a lot. I congratulate and thank you, dear, of course, it's Sarah Mala for organizing this very important day. Thank you so much, dear. Many thanks to dear here, Diana, who always shines. You are great. Thanks to all speakers, of course, and all participants. Thank you, IIU team, and especially Mr. Peyush Pandit for this amazing opportunity. Yes, today is a very important topic, high quality early childhood education and the care gives children the best start in life. It provides, of course, important opportunities to learn and develop. Early childhood education and care can help your child make friends, develop independence, and learn new routines. It also supports their transition to school. Thank you so much. And again, congratulations to all of you. Well done today. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Inga. Thank you so much for the closing speech. And
I'm also very happy because we have two speakers from Georgia. It means a lot to me. Thank
it's a
you
great
so
honor.
much.
They have been with you for a long time, and we know that you groomed them. You are behind their wonderful presentation also. You had been a motivating factor to them. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Dear, can I finish it? Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, you want to finish it, dear?
Okay. Okay, so we come to the end of the session. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished participants, I think, yeah, what an inspiring and insightful webinar we have on early childhood care and education towards 2030. And I'm truly grateful for the valuable contribution from our esteemed speakers and all those who actively engage in this discussion. So throughout our time together, we have explored the critical importance of early childhood care and education in shaping the future of our children and society. We have examined the challenges we face, the innovative solution at our disposal, and the collaborative efforts required to ensure that every children receive the care and education they deserve. So yeah, our discussion have highlighted the need for inclusive and equitable early childhood education where every child, regardless of their background or circumstances, like our speakers already mentioned, has access to quality learning opportunities. We have emphasized the significance of nurturing environments where children feel safe, supported, and encouraged to explore their curiosity and develop their full potential. As we conclude this webinar, let us carry forward to the momentum and insight gained today. Let us commit ourselves to action to translate the ideas, that recommendation discussed here today into a tangible steps that will drive progress in the years leading up to 2030 vision. So today, I encourage all of our participants to take what you have learned here today and share with your communities, organization, and even network. Because yeah, advocate for policies that prioritize early childhood care education is really important, and try to collaborate with as much as possible to develop and implement effective programs and support initiatives that promote inclusivity, equality, and quality in early childhood setting. Because yeah, remember that the success of our efforts lies in our collective commitment and determination. So by working together, we can create a future where every child, regardless of their circumstances, has the opportunities to thrive, to learn, and to contribute a meaningfully society. So once again, I want to express my heartfelt appreciation to all our speakers for sharing their expertise, to our participants for their active engagement, and to our organizer, IIU, and of course, our project director, Professor Dr. Esther Mala, for making this webinar a resounding success. So once again, thank you so much. I'm giving back to Professor Dr. Esther Mala.
Thank you. Thank you. Our wonderful moderator, and she had been my right hand throughout this project and success of this project. She contributed very much. Yeah. And also each and every one of my speakers today and my wonderful observers today, you have done a fantastic job. You are material to the success of today's. Today we achieved a tremendous success. This is my first summit which I'm organizing online and international, and I attribute my success to God creator and each and every one of you. I thank you. And like you have spoken, and there are so many observers giving your feedback to your speech. I hope in my next summit, you will attend as observers and support our speakers. Thank you so much. Let's hear our closing song. You will surely like it. Share screen. Where is the screen? Okay. Why is that?
Have you clicked the link?
Yeah, I clicked already. It was playing, but why suddenly stopped? Just now I tested before it was okay. I already clicked on the link. It was playing.
I say the things that I feel, you care. You say something for you. The sound of the heart, the light of the dream. A story to write, strong you to sing. Where do I go for the rest of the day? What do I do when you're far away? What do I say to you? My kid, you cry, love insecure, stay away. Trees are going to be true. The words of the broken, walk in the rain shows. There's a story to fly, a song you need to sing. Where do I go for the rest of the day? What do I do when you're far away? What do I say to you? What overcame? When I get to the eyes of the darkest of days, deep inside, it's breaking down. Story to fly. It's a brand new day, brand new hope. Brand new way. do I do when you're away? What do I say to you? Why do I care? In the hours of darkness, I feel some deep inside. It's burning away. Glory to God. Glory. Glory to God. Glory to God.
Thank you, dear all. Thank you, dear all. See you all again for the next submit. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you, my dear Professor Astera, Dr. Inga,
Diana, Dr. Inga.
Professor Finder. Thank you.
Ketivan, I don't know how to pronounce from Georgia.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
sir.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.